Wow. Welcome back to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. My name is Walter Murillo, and we've been going through this journey through the last 24 weeks. Wealth Principle 24 is don't give up. I'm sorry, it is you will fail. Don't give up in the process. And it seems like a morbid principle, but the truth is failure is part of the process. Failure is a learning lesson and an opportunity for you to get to the next level. If you've never joined us before, let me share with you one really important lesson. Build 100 millionaires and you will become a millionaire. My mission is to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. My name is Walter Amarillo. I've built a multi-million-dollar company, and over the last, we'll say, 70 something weeks, we've been journeying through the 52 wealth principles. We're actually on round number 2. Hands to the camera if you've been with us for more than just these 24. If you've been through this before and you're back again, give yourselves a round of applause. My alchemists, my people. Alchemy is the concept of improving yourself, taking yourself to the next level, becoming more successful. Our goal is double your net worth, double your income every year. Hands to camera if you're still committed to that goal and you believe it's worthwhile. Excellent. Hands to camera if you know you are either a millionaire or getting close. You're on your way. Excellent. So this wealth principle is a little different from some of the others. The other ones, we talk a lot about marketing. We talk about business. We talk about sales. We talk about mindset. This is a mindset piece that starts with a negative connotation. You will fail, but I don't want you to get upset about it. What I want you to do is learn from it, because failure is a learning opportunity. We were talking about it earlier with all of our graduate students. We jump in a little early for some special time with them to follow up and see what their successes are. This week, they've read some great books. They've taken themselves to the next level. I know many of them have texted me throughout the week that they are really, really crushing. I want to give a round of applause for everybody who's bought a house this week, especially if you had to fly to Florida to get it done and close last minute. Mike Shine, great job, brother. And for everybody who's operating in their projects and still doing well, real estate is a hell of a project, a hell of a business to be in. And right now is no different. You will fail right now. The point is not to let yourself stop. Those failures are learning lessons. Ron and I have failed multiple times as we've built South Coast Capital Investments, as we've built Agent Alchemist, the training company, our first training company when we were working with real estate agents. As we built our brand as agents, we have dealt with people we didn't like, and we've adjusted our business at every failure. Every time we failed, we looked and we said, well, what could we have learned here? And I want to do an exercise with you. I did it with one of my favorite students yesterday. I won't share names, but she owns 3 subways and a lot of real estate. So you might know who she is. Pull out a pen and paper. Oh, she just logged in. There she is. So pull out a pen and paper. And the reason this exercise is important is so that you can identify the lessons you've learned in your life. So that you don't keep making them, right? So you don't keep making those mistakes. Hands to the camera if you know it's faster and cheaper if you can learn from the shit you've already made mistakes on, you've already done. Hands to the camera if that's true for you. Excellent. I'm about efficiency. I want to see you rich, but I don't want to see it 10 years from now. I want to see you a millionaire, but I don't want to see it 10, 20 years from now. Look, that was the path I was on. I did the math on a spreadsheet. I was on a path to become a millionaire in 40 fucking years. If I didn't save everything, it would have been 20 years if I'd saved every single penny that I made. But, Uncle Sam takes his piece and I had to feed myself. And so I was on a path to probably be a millionaire in 40 years. I cut it down to 20 years when I started making 100,000. I cut it down to 4 years when I started making $250,000. And then I cut it down to 2 years and then 1 year. And then now I'm a multimillionaire because my net worth is over $1 million, over $2 million. It's growing. Hands to the camera if you know this is something you could do if I could do it. I'm not that smart, right? I work. I just do the right things. I don't work hard. I mean, temporarily, sometimes you will see me work hard. And usually when I'm working hard, you'll see me fail because I'm doing something I've never done before. The only hard work for me is new shit. Old stuff is easy. I've mastered it. I've practiced it. I've done it. I've learned it, done it, delegated it. Learn it, do it, automate it, learn it, do it, teach it, learn it, do it, train it, delegate it. get it into somebody else's hands. It's new stuff that you'll see me working hard on. Does that make sense? Hence the camera, if that makes sense. And your life should be the same way. If you're still working hard on something you've been doing for the last 5-10 years, guaranteed your income hasn't changed much. Guaranteed. And I apologize. Nobody taught you that. That's not your fault. It's really not your fault. It's probably my fault, right? The system is not designed to teach you the principles of becoming wealthy. The system is designed to keep you a good worker, showing back up to work, showing back up to make your boss rich, making sure that you are tired at the end of the day. This is what they teach you. Work hard, work hard, work hard. But they don't tell you what to work hard on. You got to work hard up here. You got to work hard on this process. So you will fail. And I'm about to teach you what the process is. Every time you fail, every time you have pain, every time you get angry, I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. And I want you to do it with me right now. And I'll give you some examples and you can start writing. Some of you may want to write in the chat. That's fine, but the chat won't be there after we're done. So a pen and paper, or you could Evernote yourself. Some examples of things that you have failed at. It could be put an offer in and the offer didn't get accepted. The offer was too low. Or put an offer in, maybe there were too many contingencies and it didn't get accepted. Or asked a girl out and she said no. Or you went and you asked your husband to take out the trash and he didn't do it. These could be things that you're upset about in your life that were failures that didn't work. You asked your child to go to bed, they didn't go to bed on time. Or you wanted to make $100,000 this year and you didn't hit that goal yet. These could be failures. You can write these down. Another failure could be you attempted to put a landing page up, right? You put your website up and nobody went to the landing page. Depressing, isn't it? It's sad. I know, we've been there too, but these are failures. So I want you to write these down. And I know that for this time, maybe this experience feels pretty shitty, but I promise you it's important. Because on the other side of this, we're going to make sure that those failures don't happen again by putting a plan in place to every one of those failures. Hands to the camera if you know it's worth doing some shitty stuff to get to the good stuff. Yeah, it's worth going down this rabbit hole of garbage of things I hate, things you want to bitch about, things that you like ruined your life. Write them down. I did this yesterday with Melanie, and like we had a transformative experience. And it's because I was thinking about failure the entire time, thinking about what have I done wrong. And scan if you've done something wrong within the last, we'll say 6 months. We're halfway through the year, 7 months. Okay. We want to learn from those. I want you to write those down. Write down the big ones, but in your spare time later in the week, I want you to write down the small ones. It's okay to fail. These are just opportunities. These are just lessons. I love the failures. It means that there's something new for me to learn. Anytime I see a failure, there's an opportunity on the other side of it. When Ron and I just looked at our refinance and we looked and we're like, dude, we're going to spend $600,000 to make $1 million. That's dumb. Well, not just spend, we're giving up $600,000 of our equity to pull out $1 million of our equity. We looked at each other and we said, that's not going to happen. No, thank you. I could see giving up 30,000 of our equity to pull out 400,000, which is what we decided to do. We're taking out less equity, but the cost, the barrier is not as high. In real estate, there's something called yield maintenance. Has anybody heard of that before? Yield maintenance? Would anybody like to know what that is? It's the devil. It's the devil a bank puts on you. It's a failure on our part. When we signed our loan in commercial, they will require yield maintenance for 4.5 years on our particular loan. Sometimes it's 5 years, sometimes it's 3 years. This is money we have to pay back if we pay off the loan, before 5 years. So we're locked into the loan for 5 years. Every month that goes by, they take a month off that we have to pay. So as we get closer and closer and closer, maybe a year out, we'll only have to pay a year left of interest. But right now, as it stands at 4.5 years, it's $400,000 if we pay off our loan. Hands to the camera if you know that it'd have to be a hell of a good reason to pay that loan off. So we're doing all this work. Ron has really been doing all the work. And we get the offers in and they're telling us there's this prepayment, this yield maintenance. And Ron's like, man, Walter, you're not going to like this. This is not good. Right. And I said, well, you're right. I don't like it. But between the two of us, we figured out a solution. And now we have a tool, a lesson we can teach. Hands Cam, if you see that as valuable. Did you just learn something about yield maintenance? Be careful with the commercial properties. Still do the deal. Just know this is not a quick flip. Right. So we put properties into that portfolio that in the future we would not have done. We put 22 condos, which are properties we would have liked to flip maybe 10 of those this year. So we're not going to flip those condos, which means our hustle muscle has to grow, right? We're going to go buy more property now to hit our targets in a market that's tight. Handsome Cam, if you know, it's going to be a fun ass last quarter of this year. Hell yeah. I love it. I love it. So everybody got their list? You got at least 5 things down that are like big things that you hated, were pissed off by, didn't like? Excellent. Okay. Now on the other side, I hope you left room. And if you didn't, you just rip that piece out. We'll create a new piece of paper. On the other side of this, on the other side of all of those things that you don't like, all the things that you have failed on, that you feel miserable about, whether it was this year or last year, that have been a letdown in your life or your family, on the other side of that, I want you to write down the solution, the thing that could have either prevented it or the thing that could make sure that that is solved now. Every single pain point has a lesson to it. Every single failure has a solution to make sure that it never happens again. Every single problem that you've ever gone through has preventative measures, things that you could put into place to make sure that it didn't happen in the first place. So go down the list, put in your preventative measures. Preventative measures. These are things that could have prevented this from happening. An example for, I put in one offer and the offer didn't get accepted. Well, put in 100 offers, put in more offers. Volume of offers will prevent the failure of one offer. I put in one offer and it didn't get accepted. Or I put in 100 offers, it didn't get accepted. Putting in offers that maybe readjust your numbers or readjust your market. If you put 100 offers in and they don't get accepted, it may be either your numbers are unrealistic or you're in the wrong market. So get to a different market, readjust your numbers, get a mentor, find somebody who is buying, right? Find somebody who is buying right now, who is getting deals accepted, ask them what they're doing, what offers they're putting in, and adjust accordingly. Hence the camera, if you know, that's the ultimate way to fix anything. Just get somebody who's already doing it, ask them, and then do it. All right. Don't stop trying to create your own shit. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Money's already being made. Follow the money. Ask them how they're doing it. I promise you, there is so much money out there right now. We don't care about teaching it. We want to teach. We want to see you do well. I cannot capture all of the money in the marketplace at the moment. Elon Musk is better at it than me, and he still can't capture all of the marketplace in the all the money in the marketplace. Hence, Cam, if you recognize that. There's nobody who can capture all of it. And the successful people who've captured a lot of it don't even try to capture the sections that they're not involved in, right? Like Elon has not touched housing. You notice that? Like he could build any business he wants. He's got billions, has not touched housing. We see that, right? There's a reason for that. If you failed, it could be because you're all over the place. Get your shit together. Do one thing. Build one business. Be in one relationship. Have one physical workout routine. One thing that you do for a long period of time. And I know eventually you're going to have to change those things because they get boring. Take a day off, right? But 6 days out of the week should be one thing, one grind, one business, one love, one passion. Focus on it. You want to know why you don't have the goals that you have? Because they're not focus goals. Like they're not obsessed on one thing goals. What I've seen makes people tenacious, unstoppable, is when they see a failure, they see learning lesson on the one particular thing that I'm doing. They don't see stop the thing I'm doing because that's not an option for us. It's next. Okay, cool. Like I'm still going to be on this path tomorrow. So how do I prevent that from happening again? Answer Karen, if you know that's true. Right? It's easy when you give up. It's like, oh shit, I failed. I'm off. Like I'll never have to experience that again. And so you don't learn from it. But if you say, I'm going to be with this person, I'm going to be with this business, I'm going to partner with this group and I'm going to do this for a very long time, then you don't have a choice to fail. Like, you just got to keep learning. You can't have those arguments and leave them unforgiven. You've got to go figure it out. You can't have a deal that you didn't know how to put an offer on, or you lost an offer. You got to go figure it out, because tomorrow you're going to be there putting another offer in. Does that make sense? Look, big money means big commitments. Write this down if you've never written it down before. And write it down if you haven't written it down this week. Big money equals big commitments. Big money is afraid of somebody who's not committed. Big money will only work with somebody who is committing in a big way. We're talking time and effort in a big way. You got to be all in. The most I've ever paid somebody, I want to say, is $40,000. But then I think about my business partner, and I realized, nope, I've paid Ron more than I've paid anybody else by bringing him into business. Every single time we do a deal, I'm agreeing to do the deal with him. We make our money on the purchase, by the way, not on the sale. Every single time we do a deal together, that's where we made our money, was on the purchase. I think, do I want Ron in on this deal? And every time I took, like, when we first started taking deals on, there was a deal, one particular deal. He looked at me and said, dude, you don't need me on this one. Like, literally, this is no money down, no financing, and the management, there's no management in place. And I told him, you and I are partners from now on. This is how we do it. I find deals, and whether or not I need you, you take care of the deals. You manage it. Hands to cam if you know that's a big commitment. It's true. It's made us both very, very wealthy, because we both hold each other to stay on the same path, to stay on the same road. Now, everybody have their solutions on the other side. You've written your negatives and you got your solutions. Okay. So the negative side, look at it. We'll just do the top one. Look at it. That's something bad that happened this year. And then on the right side is preventative measures to get past it. And then I want you to take those and switch them. I want you to take those and switch them. And then on that second one, now it's moved on the other side. So if you put on 2 pieces of paper, that's actually ideal. You can just take them on the other side. So now we start with preventative measures. And then I want, in between those 2 sentences, I want you to say, because we don't want, and then have the problem that you already experienced. Does this make sense? So if the thing that we were upset about was an offer didn't get accepted, or we could say our spouse didn't take out the trash, a nice simple one. Everybody been on either end of that before? Been asked to take out the trash, didn't do it? Okay. So from now on, I compliment and inspire before I ask someone to take out the trash, because I don't want the house to smell like shit, like that time that it did. By changing the order, by starting where our mind is at, the negative side, which, hands to the camera, if you know, like, sometimes the mind just goes to the negative stuff easier. It's just simpler, right? It's just an old pattern. It's something we're familiar with. So we can use these old patterns as tells, as a way to get past it. So when we fail, don't give up, learn from it, keep moving forward, keep growing. Using this skill set, anytime you get mad at something, get excited. I want you to get fucking amped up. Like, oh my God, this made me mad. This is an opportunity for me to change something in my life. Sweet baby Jesus, this is like glorious. And I want you to write it down somewhere. Write it down. You can make a list of things that made you mad. And in the moment that you're mad, maybe not the time to, try to figure out the right process. You might be like, kill that person, which never an option. Not the right way to go. So, but write down the things that made you mad, and do it weekly, do it daily. If you're getting mad a lot, that means you got a lot of things to change. It's cool. A lot of opportunities. Great. Excellent. But do it often. And adjust. That's what alchemy is all about. When shit pisses me off, I change shit. When something makes me mad, if I'm the reason, I change. I change me. Or I change where I'm at. I change something about me, or I change the people around me. Does that make sense? I couldn't control the weather. I changed my location. Boom, mic drop, right? Simple. Alchemy is about getting mad, acknowledging your anger, and then changing something. Either change how you feel about it, like Tony Robbins says and Terry says, change your story, change how you feel about it, change your emotions, or change how you act around it, react, change your reaction, or change your situation. Just move. We aren't trees. We're not stuck in the ground. Elizabeth Miller's going to move, right? Give her a round of applause. Mike Shine, let's take a look at the book of the week. Who here has read The Alchemist? Has already read The Alchemist? Oh, you guys are in for a good one. You're going to love this book. It's fun. It's kind of like Richest Man in Babylon, where it's story form, except it's not old King James. It's not like old English. So it's easier to read. And it's a really fun story. Is Mike still on the call? Michael Shine?
I don't think so. What?
He is.
But I don't see him. Mike Shine, you got The Alchemist? Awesome.
Yeah, wait. Sorry. Can you hear me?
I
Yes.
hear you now.
So, yeah, actually, I'm got Starlink internet dish being installed today. Very exciting. Go Elon Musk. So, anyway, book of the week is Alchemist. Let me see. I'm on my phone, but if people can just raise their hand, how many people have actually read The Alchemist before? I can see there's a bunch of people who have. This book is neat. It's kind of like a fable, the way it's told, of a boy who goes through a bunch of journeys, and it's certainly perfect for failures because before he gets to his dream, he has a lot of failures. So it's an amazing book. At one point, he gets scammed out of all his money for all his sheep. So, but he keeps on pushing on. So it's the perfect book for this. It's my kids have read it. It's a great book if you have kids to read, to have your kids read or read to your kids. But it definitely has lessons for adults, even though it's in the form of a fable. I love this book. I think I mentioned last year when I did the review that my best man read quotes from this book at my wedding. So it's an amazing, amazing book. And it's probably one of the reasons that I liked Walter's program right off the bat, because when I walked into the room in Fall River, it said alchemist turning leads into gold or something like that, right? So that's The Alchemist. Thank you.
Let's give Mike Shine a round of applause. He is the guardian of the books, the keeper of books, the keeper of knowledge. And every week he gives us an awesome review of the book of the week. There are 52 books to the 52 wealth principles. And Mike Shine helped me put those together and assign the books that go with those. If you haven't seen it, you can go to 52 weeks, go to waltermerlo.com and hit the tools tab. On the tools tab, we have all 52 wealth principles lined up. Hands to the camera if you've been there before. You've seen all the wealth principles. Excellent. So it's waltermerlo.com and then go to the tools tab at the top, 52 weeks to wealth. Another tool that we have to move forward is each other. We have this community. We have the mentorship. We have advice from coaches. Thank you, Terry. I'm just going to talk about the mentorship real quick. Is that okay? Has anybody heard of the mentorship? You know what it is? Excellent. Who has not heard of the mentorship? Doesn't know that we offer a training program to become a millionaire? All right. So now let's talk really quickly. The mentorship is designed to make you a millionaire. It is 8 weeks long. It does not make you a millionaire in 8 weeks. So if that is your belief system, then I apologize. It is a 3 to 5 year process to become a millionaire. The 8 weeks is the boot camp to get you started. From that point, you now understand the 52 weeks to wealth significantly better. From those 8 weeks, you can use this training program to its maximum. The question I'm asked often is, will I still become a millionaire in the 52 weeks to wealth if I have not gone through the mentorship? What I will tell you is what my coach told me. Results may vary. If you want to guarantee your success, my suggestion is do all of the activities, take all of the tools, reach out to all of the coaches, and take all of the resources and use them. If you are whimsical about your results, not sure if it matters, not sure if you want it, then the 52 weeks to wealth will at least help improve your life. At very minimum, guaranteed, you will feel more motivated. You will have a better understanding of how the world actually works. And each week, I will give you a practical exercise to put into your life today so that you can be more successful throughout the week until the next wealth principle. Each wealth principle is different. Each week is different. Each lesson is different because we're all on a mission to double our income and double our net worth each year. And so each week we adjust, and we review one of the wealth principles, and then we attack it throughout the week. Hence, if you commit to attack this principle this week, where you go through and you identify your weaknesses, the failures, and you put into place a plan of action to make sure that they don't happen again next year. Hands to camera one more time. I have your commitment to do this in your business and your life. Excellent. Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause, by the way. I'm always impressed when I see each week your commitment. The mentorship is super affordable. It was designed to be a way for us to guarantee your influence, your interest, your success. If somebody tries to take training for free, they tend not to commit to it. They tend not to stick to it. And so we added a price. We moved the price up until we found the sweet spot. I believe $1,200 is just enough for somebody to commit to do something and show up. We tried 6, we tried 1,000, but we kept getting people into the program who were flakes. They're a little flaky. They weren't committed to themselves. They weren't committed to their goal. They were committed to becoming more for their family, their community. And they just didn't want it bad enough. Hands to camera if you've seen some of those people come through the program. They don't show up on day 2, right? They don't show up on week 3. They flake on week 4. It's okay. God bless them. When the 52 weeks continue, for some reason they're not here. Look, 45 of us on the call right now. And for anybody who's not on the call, you know who you are. And if you're watching on Facebook Live and you're not on the Zoom call, you can text me and I'll agree that you're still dedicated. But if I don't see you here, I don't know. Does that make sense? Actions speak louder than words. I want to see you successful. That's why I built the mentorship. I am already rich, successful, wealthy, and rich. That $1,000, that $1,200 that we collect, we use to market to help more people. That's where all of the money goes. It goes to the web development. It goes to keeping Ron and I motivated to keep this thing going. And it pays for ads. We're about to spend $10,000 to $20,000 a month in Facebook ads. That has nothing to do with the developers on the websites and the landing pages and everything else. So when I say that this training company, the money it takes in goes back into it, I promise me, that's all it's for. It's a marketing company designed to build millionaires because I believe that's our mission on this planet, is to help people grow wealth. Look, you got Richard Simmons to help you with your health. You've got Dr. Phil help you with your mindset, your emotions, and you've got Walter Murillo and the Alchemist Nation to help you with your money. Does that make sense? You got Tony Robbins to help you with your motivation, but you got us here to help you with your money. There aren't other people who are doing it in the way that we're doing it. You know, Grant Cardone does not do his mentorship the way we do our mentorship. There's nobody on this planet who will go above and beyond the way we do. And that's why $1,200, we ask for commitment because we're putting our time in. Every single coach is a millionaire. There's no other program where all the coaches are millionaires because it's hard to find millionaires who still want to go give back. Hands to camera if you know that's true too. Yo, even me, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, shit, I'm out. I don't want to do anything today. I'm rich. Why am I still doing stuff? The answer is to stay alive. If you don't have something to do, you will die. That is the truth. At some point, you will start degrading. And I want to stay alive and I want to have an impact on this planet. Hands to the camera if you know what it's like to know you want to be a part of something bigger, to be a part of something that changes the world, makes it a better place. That's what I found here in you, in your lives, in improving your financial situation. In South Coast Capital, I get to do the same thing with our inner circle. It's an exciting way to live, changing other people's lives and doing things together. I've had opportunities to make a lot of money by myself, and I say no because there's nobody else involved. I know it won't be as interesting. Opportunities where there's other people involved, I always say yes, if I like the people. If I've ever said no to you, it's either because I didn't like the opportunity or I didn't like you. It's only a 50-50 shot. Hands to the camera if you know it's okay if I don't like the opportunity, though. If I don't like you, we got problems. If I don't like you, I wouldn't even respond back. So if I respond to your texts, I like you. There are many people I don't respond to, and I apologize. Has this been a valuable lesson? Have you gotten something out of it this week? You commit to your activity. Excellent. If you have not registered, you're listening to this on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or one of the other channels, then the easiest way to register is ibuildmillionaires.com. If you have not heard about our Alchemist Summit, the 100 Millionaires Summit coming up in October 22nd to the 24th, put it on your calendar. For everybody in the mentorship, you are already comped a free ticket. You will be there. And if you are not in the mentorship, it's only what, $197, Darina? $197 to pay for you to be there in Orlando with us for 3 days, changing your mindset, adjusting the blueprint, and giving you the tools and tactics that you're going to need to double your income and double your net worth in the next year. The tools have changed, but the principles remain the same. And so we'll be delivering them fast pace, high intensity, and there will be a lot of work. There'll be a lot of learning. This is the biggest opportunity of your year, of your life. If you've never been to a live event, in fact, most of you have not been in the last 2 years to a success event. This is live. This is some of the greatest speakers I have ever had the chance to work with, who you can still afford. So we're not bringing Tony Robbins or Grant Cardone, but we're bringing Dr. Terry Wager. We're bringing Mitch Jaworski, Mitch Durfee. We've got Doug McGurk, Ryan McDermott, Mike Shine, and I believe Darina and Christine McGinley will be giving some speeches. So let's give them a round of applause. The 100 Millionaire Summit is where you calibrate this year. It's where you get your blueprint adjusted to double, to get more income, to get more net worth, and it's where you get your network. Our alchemists will all be there. Hands to camera if you know you've already committed to being there in October. So you'll be meeting each other. Some of you for the first time since COVID. Some of you will be meeting people who are players already. Many of our alchemists are already millionaires. These are the people you want to hang out with. And guess what? You have something in common. We all agree that Walter knows something. He knows a thing or two about 52 wealth principles. He's read the 350 books and he cares about us. Hands to the camera if you know I care more about your success than you may care about your success. It's true. Trust me. When you have those faltering moments, I don't. I know you're capable of it. I know that you are going to do it. So when I get the text, like Jillian texted me yesterday, she said, I got an opportunity. I'm sorry, it wasn't Jillian. It was Julie Bradley texted me. I'm sorry, ladies. 2 J's, but love you both. Julie Bradley texted me and said, I got this opportunity. Should I do it? And I said, the numbers make sense, Julie. Yes, you're a numbers person. I'm a numbers person. Crush this deal. Don't let that fear come back again. Let's go take it down. Let's give Julie Bradley a round of applause. She's taking action. So the mentorship, if you have not already registered, is go to gualterimrollo.com/GA. Or if you need to talk to somebody and want to find out more about how it works, talk to Darina. Darina will drop her link in the chat. And if you want to go to the 100 Millionaire Summit, and you haven't signed up for the mentorship, which sounds crazy to me. But if you want to go to the 100 Millionaire Summit just to see how we are in person before you commit to the mentorship, 8 weeks of your life to building wealth, then go to ibuildmillionaires.com/summit. And I would strongly suggest everybody go to that website and test it out anyway. Just make sure all the links are working. ibuildmillionaires.com/summit. And if you're in our affiliate team, you're somebody who cares about other people, remember, you can invite somebody. Invite somebody for free, or if you want to invite a bunch of people, send them your affiliate link and get paid for it. I love spending money on marketing. That's what all the coaching is for. That's what all the money that we make from the mentorship is for. It's to go give back to you guys. I want to see each one of you be extremely successful. Hands to the camera if you know that's true. You have the ability inside of you to be extremely successful. Only successful people would be on a call called Millionaire Wealth Principles. Only successful people are crazy enough to read the books you're reading that say rich in them, that say success in them, that say mindset of a millionaire mindset. Only people who are guaranteed to be successful hang out with us consistently week in and week out. Only people who are taking the actions are guaranteed to be successful. Without action, there is no results. So I want to open it up to the coaches. Hands to camera if you'd like to be introduced to some of our amazing millionaire coaches and get their take on this principle. Excellent. Mike Shine, you want to start it off?
Oh yeah, so this is a great one for me because I fail all the time. I certainly didn't make up the phrase, but I fail forward all the time. I think that one of the reasons that my law firm works so well is that the people that I work with, by the way, I just got to represent Mission to Millions, Mission to Millions. The people that I work with know that they can make mistakes in the office because they know I'm going to make more, but we always recover and do a great job. So that's number one. And number two, even this deal that was on Facebook, they sent me documents on the 8th, and I just assumed that somebody else was going to take care of it. But failing forward meant jumping on a plane at 5 a.m. to fly down there to close that deal. So as long as you don't quit, failing or making mistakes is fine. So that's what I got. Thank you.
Is it pretty easy to set up, you know?
Let's give Michael Shine a round of applause. Dr. Terry Wager, you're up with your share.
You know, when I first entered into my psychology program, my professor said, write a psychological report. I want a full psychological report from this vignette. Nobody in the course had ever done anything like that. And we're all like, we need a model. We need some way to be able to do this. We don't know how to do this. And he said, that's the point. You don't know what you're doing, and this is the best way to learn. We need to see what you already can do naturally before I start shaping you. And it was one of the most valuable lessons I got, and it was one of the most stressful kinds of things because my head started telling me that I had to have it perfect. It started telling me that I wasn't going to perform the right way and I wasn't going to be able to stay in the program and all of this stuff in about a half a second. And it's like, no, okay, just go ahead and do it knowing we're going to fail. And it's a starting point. And so that's the thing I think about with anything I do now is whatever I do is a starting point to get better and better and better. And so that's what I think about when you're talking about failure. There is no failure. There's just a starting point. And even if you do well 2-3 times, and then you have a failure, it's a new starting point to get better and better and better at what you're doing, because the one true thing in growth is practice gets you better. That's what I got.
Let's give Dr. Terry Wager a round of applause. Hands to the camera if that connects with you, it makes sense. Excellent, excellent. Darina Pagodina, you're up, so I don't forget.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great lesson. I think most of the times we get so hard on ourselves when we fail at something, and we triple the effect of the process to the negative side versus, okay, I failed. That means that I'm one step closer to the result that I'm looking for. And it's not easy to shift that thinking, but it's possible, because failing, it is just inevitable thing if you start something new. And like Walter is saying, I fail when I start something new. We didn't start walking right away. If you do the sport, you don't get great at it instantly. We fail, we fall, we get up. I think to add to this is like, if you do have clear vision, nothing gets on the way, and all the bumps are not important because you see the result ahead of you. If you have no clarity, then every failure will seem like a huge thing to you, and you will bring yourself down and perhaps even think you're not worth of the goal that you're looking for to achieve. So clarity of your goal will reduce the stress of failure, and failure is inevitable. So it's just surrounded to it. You'll fail and pick yourself up and go forward. Again, just think of sport. Every Olympic champion failed thousands of times. And because they didn't give up, they got a golden medal.
Let's
That's
give
thing.
Darina Pagodina a round of applause.
Thank you.
She's not just friendly and intelligent, she's also got a big heart, and she knows the process of failure firsthand. In fact, I get to watch Darina fail all the time, and she has the benefit of watching me fail all the time. Who knows? That's entertaining as fuck. You should see my failures. They are spectacular. When I fail, it's big. And she watches it, she sees the learning process, and when she fails, she's like, well, don't do that again. You know, like, are we all perfect? No. Sometimes do we beat ourselves up? It's fantastic for me to watch Darina in the process. You know, she's the only person I really see every single day, guaranteed in person. And so watching her go through the process of either a win, like excited over a gain or something she's learned, or the failure of something, I'm just like, man, like life is an emotional roller coaster, right? This shit is crazy. And she is such a powerful woman. I've never seen a woman just adapt so quickly. And she'll probably think that she's going through something and she's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I was so upset or so frustrated. And I'm just looking at it like, it's damn impressive how quickly you got over that. Right? Like, I've never seen a human being adjust like so fast and realize that it actually life is okay still. You know, like that wasn't a huge loss. It was just an opportunity. So let's give Darina a round of applause. I learned so much from her, and it's absolutely amazing to watch as she grows and goes through life. Mitch Jorsky, how is your ankle?
Luckily, I can sit down for these. So yeah, I was distracted in chat. I saw some good news. This is why we do all this, so we get these messages about people making progress. And Terry, you'll be happy to know Robert made some progress. So that's a thing. But anyway, moving along. So yeah, you guys talking about, Dorina was just talking about it too, in terms of like actions and progress and all that stuff. And bottom line is like, I talk to people all the time about real estate and how we make money solving problems. And often in real estate, you should look at problems as opportunity. And in order to solve problems, you got to take action, right? And we get a lot of education, and you should get education because that, shortens the curve to success. And also removes mistakes that you don't have to make now because others, taught you what those landmines might be, right? But in the end, education without action is basically a tragedy. So that theme will never go away. Take action, whether it's solving problems to make money in real estate, whether it's moving forward with a new business, whether, regardless of what it is, in the end, action is the key to the whole thing. So that's how I'm looking at it. And I'm happy to see in some of these private messages I'm getting is people telling me about actions that they've taken. So that's exciting to see, the information, education, and motivation that we provide are actually, manifesting into people taking action. So pretty cool stuff.
Let's give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause. I think Mitch is talking about the bullet train of action. Many of the people who've gone through the mentorship have jumped onto the bullet train of action. Many of the people who've gotten into the Scaredy Cat Guide training program that Mitch puts together for crypto and for stock, for real estate investing, evaluating deals, have gotten on the bullet train of action, and they're going through the process. And now these coaches really get that one-on-one with you, and they're like, "Hey, I know exactly what you're doing." They're getting texts, they're getting messaged. It's really fun. It's really powerful. Darina, go ahead.
I have a question. Sometimes we say, oh, I am failing someone else. How do you fix that emotion, I guess? Because
Nothing.
like it's not a failure, like, oh, okay, you didn't take the trash, or someone said no to you, or over the term of a project, it didn't complete, it didn't bring results. But when you kind of failing someone else, do you have control over it, or it's in your head?
Communication.
That's a great question.
Go ahead,
If
Terry.
you don't mind, I'd jump in there. Sometimes people like to put the onus or ownership of something onto other people and say, you failed me. Well, I was actually thinking about this like at 2 a.m. I popped up and wrote a little something. And what it's really about is we're self-supporting through our own contribution. And it's kind of the opposite side of accountability, and it's responsibility. And so when I'm looking at whatever I'm doing with Christine or with Walter or with any of my other partners, I'm looking at where I was self-supporting through my own contribution and what did I do? And sometimes other people don't follow through, but they didn't fail me. There's situations and context around the situation that I might not know. And so if I'm thinking that they failed me, I'm in a scarcity mindset. They might need help. They might have other hurdles that I'm not aware of. And so they may not have made the mark, or they may have not have followed through with what they were doing, but it's not because they failed me. It's because something got in their way, whether it was their own head trash, something else. And so how can I help you become successful in that action rather than they failed me? And so I really look at it from a service point of view of how can I help you, and we make progress together as progress partners instead of me holding them accountable for failing me. We put a big wedge when we start coming from that angle that they didn't follow through. I don't know what happened. And so that's how I approach every one of those situations. They didn't fail me. I always have this idea that they are doing the best they can and they want the same goal as me if we're working together. So what happened that you weren't able to make it, and how can I help you make it? We're in this together. Does that make sense? Awesome.
Thank you. Yes, it does make sense, because you're saying basically instead of putting responsibility on them, you are switching to, okay, what's up with them? Are they struggling with something, or they have issues
Right.
that now I have to step in and help them out? But that's you're a good person, like you are looking at it as a great partner versus
Exactly.
like using someone. Yeah, it's good. Thank you.
And I honestly think that most of the people in here that I work with, especially the coaching team, we're all like that. We all like, if they're not making the goal, it's because something's in the way and we can help them. How can we help you make that goal? Every time.
Excellent. Let's give Dorina a round of applause for asking a great question. It's a great question. We want to open it up to other great questions. What would you say is your biggest question on failure? One of the things you wrote down. Did anybody write one down that they don't really know a solution to, or would like to get some feedback on maybe a better solution on how to prevent or maximize so it doesn't happen again? This is your chance. We'll stay on for maybe another 6, 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes to answer your questions. You guys are important to us. So
Can I make a comment?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if some of you who know, or maybe don't know, but I was nannying, and I was working with a 6-year-old who had, I was working on his self-esteem because he lost some self-esteem because he thinks differently. And you could see when he messed up, he failed. So I said, when you fall, what do you do? Get back up. What do you fall? What do you do? Get back. You fall. What do you do? Get back up. And I think I said it to him like 10 times, to the point where he started to realize, oh, if you want something, you just go for it. It's like a great book called Mindset that talks about the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And if you're gonna fall, just know you're doing it for kicks and you're just growing. It's just part of the process. So
Let's give Sandra
my
Scroy a
comment.
round of applause. She said she wanted to live in Australia. She moved to Australia. She said she wants to live in Spain. She lives in Spain. She said she wants to study under the greatest sculptors of all time. She studies under the greatest sculptors of all time. Very impressive. What other questions or comments do you have on today's wealth principle? This is your chance, and we want to make sure that we're solving any problems that you may have, anything that came up for you. Could be in your business, could be in your investments. Your chance. Don't be
I'll
shy.
go. So
Rob.
I'm in Terry in Mitch's program with Doug McGurk and
Names on deeds.
names on deeds. So I mean, we talk about skin in the game, and it wasn't a cheap program, and you know, it constantly thinks about that, like, and taking their advice. And I haven't been, you know, but I mean, I have now, but it took me a while to gain that traction and to get on there, and it was a big hang up. But you know, following Mitch's advice and Terry's advice, and just putting out offers. And I was listening to my buddy, and that's what kind of the private text going back and forth, private message with Mitch, was listening to my buddy who's a mortgage originator with Huntington Bank, and said, "There's no way you're going to get, you know, approved for a multifamily, or I mean, small residential, you know, under 4 units, whatever, or anything without a W-2." You know, Mitch, Terry, they've been on my ass constantly, not letting me make excuses, and I'm good at it. And you know, I reached out, you know, Terry was, or Mitch, just reach out. You just refinance your properties, man. Reach out to them and see what, you know, if they'll hook you up or whatever. And I ended up getting pre-approved, and you know, with Terry on my ass all the time, making offers. So, you know, they don't let you slip. So as much as you know, you allow yourself to slip, take your own bad advice. It's accountability, and it's huge. So that's all I got to say. So.
Let's give Robert a round of applause. Names on Deeds was a $10,000 program, and it offered a lot of extra stuff in it. And we had 3 pretty amazing people join in, Wilbur, Robert, and Chris Bazalian, and they are crushing it. Each one of them crushing it. And yes, Rob, you know, maybe you're hard on yourself sometimes, like, oh man, I didn't take the actions, but you are taking actions. You're just, you know, like, it's crazy to watch you, man.
Say one thing, because I am hard on Robert, and it's because I know he can do it. And the guy has, you know, switched careers completely, and he was in a tough situation when he came to us, and he embraced what we're talking about. He's taken the action. He's gotten a number of houses under contract and sold for in his real estate deal. But then he's also now putting offers in on places. He's got pre-approved for his own little 4-family, and he's starting to actually grasp this idea of just taking the action. And it's amazing to see. And that's what I like to see when people come in this program, is they take the action, they get into that fear, and they take the action. And it's really, we're gonna fail as far as what we're talking about in this particular week. We're gonna fail, but how do you want to fail? Do you want to fail by taking the action that's going to move you forward, or do you want to fail because you didn't take action? Which one do you want to do?
I like it. And for everybody who has gone through a program before, paid for a mentor, paid for a coach, we're not the same. We are very
No.
different. Trust me, I've been through those too. I've spent over $130,000 on my education, and what we deliver is what I wish they delivered. And the price that we charge, $1,200 to get in, man, like, you cannot beat it. You cannot beat it. And then anytime you get in with one of the coaches, you go for a further down the road, you go with one of their higher programs. That's because you want to cut out time. You're just looking for the fast track, the bullet train action. So it's not mandatory, but if you're like me, I spend a lot of money on big programs so I can move faster. Hence the camera, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, you know, we talk about those programs. Look, it was right for Robert. It was right for Chris. It was right for Wilbur, because they are impatient people and they want success faster. So let's give them a round of applause. Look, life is a race. Anybody who tells you otherwise isn't keeping track. It is a race. You will die at some point, but you could really have fun on the track. And being a millionaire is how you have fun. Making money, surrounding yourself with good people is how you have fun on the track. And you want to do that sooner. Have you ever been on a race and not drank water in the beginning? Has anybody ever like done something, an activity, and not drank water? Like you need water, right? Well, money is the same thing. You do need it on this planet. In order to have fun and like enjoy yourself, you should eat a meal or two. So money allows you to have the tools to make. Have you ever not had the right shoes when you were running? Not had the right bike when you were biking? Not had the. I know Ron recently didn't have the right wheels on his skateboard when he was skateboarding, and so he had to put his leg down a lot. Sorry, Ron. Bearings. Bearings are inside the wheels. So he didn't have the right bearings. So he had to put his foot down like twice as many times. Makes the experience worse. Money allows you to have better vehicles, better opportunities, better clothing, better food, better situations, less work on things you don't like, more work on things you do like. Hence the game, if that makes sense. So speed to money is better as long as you're not cutting any corners. Speed does not mean cut corners. Speed means faster, but you still have to maintain quality. Is it reasonable to say that Elon Musk puts more machines in the air than NASA has ever put in? He puts up more machines in 1 year. He's put up more machines than they have ever put up because he puts one up every 5 days. It takes NASA 5 years to put something into the sky. Does that make sense? But his come back, they don't blow up at the end. So he's still doing it faster, but with a better system. So better systems move you faster. That's the principle out of this conversation. Better systems will move you faster. So speed is important, but not speed with the crap system you might have been operating. We agree? I'm not saying do more of the shit that doesn't work. What I'm saying is involve yourself in a process, a system, a proven methodology that works, and then go to the moon. Get on board with us. What are the questions? We're open to questions. And thank you, Robert. I love seeing your success, brother. It's really, it moves us. It reminds me why I wake up in the morning. Questions or comments? We'll stick around for another 2 minutes then. Julie, was that the fake me out? Was that the hand up or scratch my head? Which one was that? Go ahead.
I'll say something just because this platform is where I get all the anxiety out from speaking, but I'm comfortable, getting more comfortable with everyone that shows up every week. Thank you. And you said something about my opportunity, and the reason that I came across it, I just thought might help others, was that I stepped out of my immediate area. I went where the numbers can work for me in my present situation today, without allowing, maybe not enough income or not enough approval stop me from from taking massive action. You work with what you have, and if you have to move into another market, then do it. Do it to get the job done. So that's what I wanted to share, hopefully to help others that might not feel comfortable, because it isn't comfortable to go into another market, but doing it when the numbers make sense is where you get your confidence. You got to rely on that.
Let's give Julie Bradley a round of applause. That's true. And Julie, you're becoming a great speaker, by the way. Thank you for sharing with us when you do. It is fun jumping on the camera. Who's ever felt the anxiety that Julie talked about just a second ago? When you go to unmute the mic, you're like, fuck. It's cool. It's just us, guys. It's all right. So you don't have to feel that, but it's not going to go away. You just unmute the mic, get excited about it. And again, one more time, Julie Bradley, a round of applause for getting past her fears. Even this is an opportunity. I love it. And what you said, Julie, about getting out of your market. Yeah, I taught that for years. When I was an agent in Fall River, I'd drive up to Boston and say, guys, look, how you doing for deals up here? And they'd be like, no deals, no deals. And I'd be like, let me tell you about this city about an hour away where I've been buying real estate and cash flowing, and now I'm rich. And they'd be like, what city do you talk about? And I'd be like, Fall River. And they'd be like, I've heard of it. I've heard that people are still buying deals down there. I was like, yeah, why don't you come down and we'll take a look? I'll show you some properties. and I helped make millionaires because I was able to hold them by the hand and get them out of their comfort zone. And then I put property management in place. I was a full shop, one-stop shop. Hey, you're in Boston. I'm going to bring you to Fall River. I'm going to help you cash flow. That was my mission, was to help people who wanted cash flow, who couldn't cash flow. I just took them to outside of their market. I did one full service management, did the deal, had the lenders, had the inspectors. Like I made sure everything was done, and I did all the numbers for them. Get outside of your comfort zone. And when you have a choice, always work with the best, right? Find somebody like me who's looking to be the best in their marketplace and invest with that person, right? Like there's every depressed market has somebody like me in it. I guarantee you, I've seen them, I've met them. They've given me the spiel and I'm like, holy shit, you sound a lot like what I used to say. That's fantastic. And I know if I'm going to invest in that market, that's the person I'm investing with. The person who has taken accountability to full one-stop shop in that market. Hands to the camera if you know it'll make the deals a lot easier. It also makes the deals a lot more scalable. You could buy more because it's just, well, buy the next one, get the down payment, get the money lined up, get the next one, because you got a system in place. You're hijacking somebody else's system. And that's what we used to offer for anybody who is buying in Fall River and New Bedford. We just put our system in place for them. And we still do. Anybody who's looking to buy in Fall River, New Bedford, we still do. Our agents are still taking on leads and still working with investors who are making the money in Boston or New York, but need to put their money to someplace that cash flows. That's one more time. Julie Bradley, a round of applause for learning the lesson, getting over the fear. Nobody likes investing out of state. Except for Mike Shine. Mike Shine's getting really good at it. But I love driving by my properties. It's a part of why I do it. You know, I've always been a collector of things. You know, when Pokemon was out, I was collecting all the Pokemons. Right? When they had the furry baby, little, furry creatures, I can't remember what they were. I was collecting all those. Right? I collected Pogs.
What are these? Beanie Babies? Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies. Thanks, Mike. I collected Pogs or rock.
Pet rock?
I've no pet rock. I became a geologist for a little while. I was collecting all the quartz crystal in my area. Amethyst, quartz, smoky stone, like anything like that I would collect. Real estate, man, it is my funnest collection. I love it. You know, I had a fish tank. There's nothing more interesting than real estate because the fish tank, you get to watch everything kind of evolve and figure itself out. In real estate, you got people, and like people do some weird shit. Like they go out, they find somebody they love, they have a baby together, they need to move to a bigger unit. They start, they buy different cars. They start asking if they can garden in the yard. Like all sorts of stuff comes up with real estate. Sometimes they go good, sometimes they go bad, but either way, it's interesting. It's fun to watch. And you do your best to make sure that they have a good, clean, safe place to habitate and build their amazing lives. Hands to the camera if this was a fun week for you so far. Hands to the camera if that was a fun exercise you did with us. If the exercise was fun. Excellent. So my big request is do more time with it. Build out a system for yourself. Make pages. Go get yourself a binder. Go to Dollar Tree or something or Staples and get yourself a binder. I like that, Elizabeth. I got one of those too. I think Brenda Shine sent it to me. So go get a binder, just a 1-inch binder. Get a hole punch if you don't have one already. And then as you're writing these out, as you're writing your negative things out and you're writing your positive thing on the other side, the preventative, I want you to go and type them up and then do the right formatting where you put the good on the left side because I don't want, and then the bad on the right side, and put this into your binder. And every week, if you add a new list of things, preventative measures, you're creating a process for your life that you can hand down to your kids, that you can hand over to your spouse, or you can hand over to your business people in your company. This is a process and procedures. We do these things so that we don't ever have to suffer this. And start building it now. Because every day, you can have 2 or 3 of them, right? You can have one for health, you can have one for your business, you can have one for your relationships. And build it out so that you have systems, things that have worked and things that have not worked. Have you ever done something that you hated? Like you did something that didn't work out and you did it again? Has anybody ever made mistakes twice? This will prevent that. Sometimes it helps to have a procedure you can look at. It's almost as powerful as affirmations. I do this thing now, so that doesn't happen to me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you. Go to ibuildmillionaires.com to register for the 52 Weeks to Wealth, or go to ibuildmillionaires.com/summit to register for our 100 Millionaires Summit in October. I'm looking forward to seeing each one of you there. I want to say a special thanks to our coaches for all of the dedication each week and to each student that you deliver. Let's give our coaches a round of applause. I love you guys, men and women who are dedicated to building millionaires. And to each one of you, our future millionaires, our alchemists, I want to give you a big round of applause for your commitment. There is nothing like knowing that you will be successful, looking in the mirror and saying, I can do this. I must do it. Because if I don't, nobody else will. You've got to love what you're doing. You got to love yourself enough to dream big enough to go and earn $1 million, to have that net worth. Look, don't do it for you. Do it for somebody else. Whatever it works for you, whatever it takes. I couldn't build it for myself, so I built it for other people. Get a partner. Cheers to your success. When you have a choice, always work
with the best, the best, the best.
Go get it.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Peace.
Mike.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Burst.
Best, the best.